Oh no, where's he? Which one?
I mean, you know, the movie had a theatrical release. It came out in theaters. I prefer that. I prefer the theatrical experience. But at the end of the day, you want people to see your movie, and if that's how people are watching it on Netflix or wherever they're watching it, then that's fine. And it's great. It's great to get more eyes on such a small movie. That's all you dream of when you make a tiny movie like that. Is I want everybody to see it. So, you know, good for them.
I'll just say that streaming has definitely made it easier for movies of any kind, for any type of audience to be made. The harder part that I think independent world needs to figure out is how do we find our audience? You know, how do we find the right people? Because oftentimes so much stuff is being put out that it's very easy for things to get buried, and I think that's something that we're actively trying to think of for our own films, and I hope that our peers are able to think critically in that ways too as well.
It's also something A24 is doing well. You know, like they're tricking people into going to the theater to see artful stuff. You know, like and I'm so glad they're doing that, because like the weird movies I saw in theaters as a kid changed my life.
Do whatever you want. I don't care. Have fun. Is this still? It's video.
Yeah, I think it's so great that if you don't happen to live in a major metropolis, you can access, you can seek out material that you're interested in.
Absolutely, and I think like right now we're seeing a lot of changes in the ways that people go and see movies. I don't know, that people are going to the theaters to see R-rated comedies that don't, if it's not Marvel or Disney or a big tentpole movie, it's really hard to get butts in seats these days. And so I felt really grateful that like we had the ability, in a post-COVID world to be seen by as many people who maybe didn't feel comfortable going to the movie theater anymore or now or anything like that. And so I felt really, I'm grateful, honestly, that it was able to find its audience so easily on streaming.
There are things you just couldn't do in the theater because you couldn't have the rating or the risk, and it's great for streaming. There are things you should do in the theater that need to be seen in the theater, and we made a movie that had to be seen in the theater by all audiences. But there are also things that can play in both spaces.
I don't know, because I pretty much dropped off with social media, but I do think it definitely helped. And it was really fun communicating with the fans about what they liked about the show and what was working for them. You could see it like kind of snowballing into this bigger and bigger thing online, and that was really fun. But I just felt like it was too much of a compromise for me to stay in certain areas engaged. But yeah, I mean, how do you differentiate yourself? Like, good luck. Good luck comes into play. And then who's your studio, and do they believe in it? And the people who greenlight it, are they still running the studio, or have they been replaced?
Where's the Sandman? We're actually, he already knows what's up. Yeah, I love Avatar. He's come fast fresh, actually. So, I'm happy that this.
Do you know, I ask myself that all the time, but I keep coming back to the same thing. I really believe that, like, good work rises to the top, and it is sort of a meritocracy. And I think when something is really remarkable, I think that people watch and people talk about it. I think it's word of mouth, and whether that's through social media or by the water cooler at work, I think that that's really what spreads the word.